El Chapo was not remembered as an ordinary criminal. Over time, he became something darker, a legend, a ghost, and, for many people, the invisible ruler of an underground world. His real name was Joaquin Archivaldo Guzman Loera, but the world came to know him by a shorter name, El Chapo. He came from the mountains of Sinaloa, from dusty roads and poor villages where power did not always come from politics. Sometimes it came from fear. Sometimes it came from money. And sometimes it came from the man who controlled the road out. El Chapo did not build his empire like a street boss. He built it like a logistics company. Planes, trucks, hidden compartments, submarines, mountain routes, and tunnels under the border all became part of the same machine. For him, the border was not a wall. It was a problem to solve, and that is what made him different. He understood movement. He understood timing. He understood that a criminal empire survives only when it can move faster than the people chasing it. But what turned El Chapo into a myth was not only the scale of the Sinaloa Cartel. It was the escapes. In 2001, he escaped from a Mexican prison and disappeared back into the shadows. For years, the mountains protected him. The people around him protected him. And the myth grew larger every time the government failed to catch him. Then came the escape that shocked the world. In 2015, El Chapo vanished from a maximum security prison through a tunnel built beneath his shower. It was not just a hole in the ground. It was a tunnel with lighting, ventilation, and a rail system. It was engineering turned into defiance. That escape was more than a getaway. It was a message. It told Mexico, the United States, and the world that El Chapo believed no wall could hold him. But every legend creates pressure. Every escape leaves a trace. Every hidden route eventually becomes a map for someone else to follow. Investigators kept watching. Witnesses started talking. Phones, meetings, safe houses, and old alliances began to form a pattern. The man who once moved through tunnels started to run out of exits. In 2016, Mexican forces captured him again. In 2017, he was extradited to the United States. And in New York, inside a courtroom far away from the mountains of Sinaloa, the legend was reduced to evidence. The trial exposed a world of bribes, betrayals, violence, routes, shipments, and fear. The jury found him guilty. In 2019, he was sentenced to life in prison, plus 30 years. Today, El Chapo is held in ADX Florence, the most secure federal prison in the United States. The man who turned tunnels into symbols of power now lives inside a system built to make escape almost impossible. So did El Chapo lose? In one sense, yes. The king of tunnels ended behind concrete. But the darker question is what he left behind. Because when a man like El Chapo disappears, the world he helped build does not disappear with him. Other names rise, other routes open, other people fight for the empty throne. That is the real shadow of his story. Not just one man, not just one cartel, but the machine that kept moving after the king was gone. History does not always remember the winners. Sometimes it remembers the people who left the largest wreckage behind. And El Chapo left behind a question that is still not fully answered. When the invisible king falls, who takes the keys to the underground kingdom? This is beyond the fame.